This Newsweek, where we highlight some of the biggest stories that made the headlines recently. Now, this week, it appears President Bola Tinubu has declared that he will not hesitate to sack ministers and cabinet members who fail to perform. At the end of a three-day cabinet retreat in Abuja, the president announced his intention to sign a performance bond with the ministers. Meanwhile, the presidency debunked reports that President Tinubu's administration allocated 5 billion naira for the purchase of a presidential yacht. The senior special assistant to the President of Media and Publicity noted that the yacht was requested by the Nigerian Navy and not the president. I still have Kalajaye Paul and I have Mr. Kujumi with me to discuss this. Let me come to you, Mr. Paul. In the context of the president warning his cabinet that at the opening ceremony or opening retreat of the Federal Executive Council, he made mention of perform or get sacked or get removed. What does this mean to you? How did it come across to you?
It's also to show very clearly that the president that we have on seat today is a president that has a direction and very focused. He is the visionary. He had the mandate of the people to rule this country. And then he has a vision. That's why he aspired to lead. But then his visions can only be translated into reality when you have vision helpers. Those ministers and special advisors, aides that are appointed are the vision helpers. And don't forget that, like he also said, the buck ends on my table. Before the buck gets to your table, there must have been some decipherment. There must have been some sifting. There must have been some work in the progress before you bring it to the president's table. And most cases, if you do not get it right, and you get something on the table of the president, and you mislead the president, so it also means that you're going to mislead the entire nation. The president cannot be everywhere. That's why he has chosen those aides to assist him. So his clarion call to all of the cabinet members is not a threat. The cry of a child in the midnight is not a sign of disturbance. It's a call for attention. So it's not a threat. It's just to ask them to tighten up. That you cannot go here and walk here and go to sleep, because I will not sleep. So if I'm not sleeping, you must not sleep. And then it's for all the ministers to get to their tables and articulate their programs and actions. It's not about provision of budget. You have budget to do A, B, C, D, or whatever. But then how do you implement those budgets? Those budgets must be implemented in a manner that will translate to the benefits of the common man on the street. And for you to do that, you must work with the paraphernalia of your office. You must work with the PAMSEC and the entire civil service structure to ensure that they also do not mislead you. They also do not give you wrong information. So they must also go back and set the same agenda for the civil servant who are going to work with them. So it's like to say the ministers will have to work hard, the civil servant will have to work hard, everybody in the box must work to ensure success. So as far as I'm concerned, I think it's just an indication that we're in for a better time. It's an indication to show that we cannot allow the country to be run any way, anyhow. We must set an agenda. Any government that does not set meaningful, measurable, achievable objectives for itself, that government is doomed to fail. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not ready to do this. He wants to succeed. And therefore, he has people who will work with him and make him succeed. He has also set up the key performance indicators and asked for a special advisor to monitor. It's not a question of how will you know whether I'm performing. It's a question of you must set, what it means is that every minister must set their agenda, objectives before the special advisor monitoring. Because that will be the indicator with which their performances are measured. And at every quarter, it's like a tick. And then you tick. You have 10 agendas. How many have you executed in first quarter? And then you split it into about 4 quarters. In the first quarter, you must have done 1 or 2 out of the 10, so that then we can measure you And then the country must see. But it's not only the monitor that is monitoring, as indicated by the president. The entire country is monitoring what is going on. All of us are interested in what goes on in this country. And then say whatever touches all must be debated by all.
Exactly. I'm sure a lot of people will agree with you that it's not a threat, but more like a caution word to get on their feet and get the job done. Let me come to you, Mr. Kujumi. By your estimation, who and who have stood out among the ministers so far for you?
The question you're asking me is too early in the day, because you recognize that these are ministers who have a 4-year tenure if they live up to the billing according to the parameters set by the commander-in-chief. And if you ask me to start measuring them now, I don't know on what parameter you want me to measure.
Have you seen any seriousness in any of them? That's what I'm asking. Who have you seen any?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've seen the Minister for Solid Minerals. I've seen, the activities he has engaged in. I've seen the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs. I've seen the Minister for Aviation. I've seen quite a handful. I've seen the Minister for Power. I've seen the Minister for Foreign Affairs. The Minister for Finance. In fact, you'll be doing a roll call of all the ministers if you are going to take stock. But it's too early in the day to start measuring them. But we have seen them start the activities of their ministry, knowing fully well the commander of their, the captain of the class, who is the president. And if we all recollect that a former governor of Lagos State and a former minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAM, rightly admonished that if you want to work with with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, be ready to work like a jackal, because this is a man, according to him, who hardly sleeps. This is a man who gives you an assignment, and he goes ahead of you to even implement it before before you dusty your bottom from the chair. So you will know you are working with a leader that will not tolerate failure. And the situation we are in now as a country, the president has made it clear that he's not going to give Nigerians excuses, because he came to the people and told them that, entrust me with the mandate and I will deliver. So the president is very much aware of the promises he has made to Nigerians. And that is why he's telling...
Mr. Kujumi, we are almost out of time, but I want you to touch on this question that has to do with the yacht that the presidential... the president has actually denounced that, say that this is not for him, and it has generated a lot of controversy. I want you to react to it.
Well, the statement from the presidency, and looking into our past, previous administrations, has, exonerated the government from the plot that wanted to be sold to the Nigerian public by mischief makers. It is very clear that when